Test. Looks like, yeah, there we go. Volume's good. Okay, cool. I'm just sending out stream announcements, and then we'll dive into the game. We have a Terra Mystica table. Not a very good one, but hey, whatever. I waited like 20 minutes for a game this morning. It was hard to find any tables of like pretty much anything that I was interested in. Which, hey, it happens. I'm at a weird time, right? Like, I get that, but we're playing landscapes are on, mini expansions are on, base map, auction, everything else pretty normal. We have 2 minutes to throw a faction into the auction. We have alchemists in the first seat. We got dwellings into spades, into trading posts, into temples, into dwellings, into big buildings, pastels. We got big buildings and TP scoring, we're mission ship scoring, dwelling scoring, and 6 coins. So the alchemists look okay in terms of the fact that things are coin tight, but I think the alchemists are kind of weak here. But color wise, track wise, I don't know, maybe nomads here, build dwellings early, do some spade things. Nomads can potentially do lots of trading posts right in the mid game if things go well. The end game looks kind of bad, though. The end game is bad for a lot of factions. This isn't like a particularly cohesive track for a lot of things. Big buildings in round 6, like cultists and mermaids, maybe, but those already create neighbors, and I don't love creating color neighbors right off the bat. I think I'm just gonna throw in. Oh, we have landscapes though, actually. Landscape fakirs here. Landscape fakirs doesn't seem awful, but I'm gonna be lame and throw in nomads. Is it just an open table with 100 elos? Yes. It's we're gonna have some very dubious players, right? Yeah, like I mean, we have a 347, a 228, and a 170. Like, we're gonna see a lot of weird stuff. I mean, the 347 is gonna play reasonably well. Like, you have to be fairly good to get there. But the 228s and the 170 are gonna presumably be fairly dubious in whatever they do. But we get mermaids in. I said mermaids looked reasonable. I like mermaids a bit here. The only thing that I'll hate about mermaids is if for some reason we throw green into the 4th seat here and sandwich mermaids, or if we sandwich alchemists, then the auction gets ugly. And that's what we do. We throw in witches and we we have sandwich mermaids. This isn't the worst color arrangement, at least, to be honest. Green, blue, and black can kind of coexist, but I'm going to just be bidding quite a lot for nomads here early on and avoid the absolute nonsense that's going to happen otherwise. There is tempship in the games, but like, so what? Witches start C4 and like C4 F4 on tempship, and witches do like mini dwelling rush trying to lock up stuff. Mermaids maybe don't even start D5. I don't know. We're bidding nomads for quite a bit, and we're gonna be okay with it. Nomads are gonna start here. Maybe witches are here, maybe alchemists are here. Nomads also start here. Mermaids are probably here. Alchemists are possibly here. First bidding witches. Hey, you put witches in and you want to play witches, but I don't understand. We do have landscapes, but landscapes doesn't change the evaluations that much here. Yeah. How good are alchemists still? What's gonna happen here too? Actually, witches probably start on the spade, but then mermaids get temp ship and double dig. We're bidding on the witches, everybody, by the way. Excellent. Okay, so it's gonna go, yeah, some combination of temp ship and spade are probably the first 2 picks. So nomads are gonna get worker power or 2 workers. Nomads are not gonna get double dig in defense. Nomads could maybe just go for a double temple opening. Who's winning cults this game? This is a very non-culty game. So double temple and sending lots of priests to cults could be actually a reasonable strategy here too. So nomads could start on the 2 worker tile and try to just get enough leech in order to take a coins action round 1 and just go double temple. Double temple would be fire 1, right? The coins are a little limited on the pass tiles. I think the workers will show up. In a crazy scenario, we just go double temple, Earth 2, fire 1, because Earth 2 also off a double temple to have extra worker production looks reasonable. There's no workers on the cults. And if we're going double temple, we're going to get coins off the cults is part of the theory. But I still might just go double econ here like an absolute madman, even though the track's not that great and the pastels aren't that great. It still might be what I do here. If I actually play nomads, but it's looking like I'm playing nomads. I mean, we'll see. There's potentially a lot of auction, but people are bidding on stuff I would not be touching yet. I think nomads are just color arrangement clearly advantaged here. And nothing is convincing me why that would not be the case. Like, nobody's digging yellow hexes this game except maybe Alchemists are gonna try to, get B4. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I'll just bid some nomads. If we do have to play something else, yeah, what are the theories? So Alchemists probably get to start on the Priest, meaning nobody starts on Worker Power. That's actually a little wild, but that might be the case. The theory would be Alchemists start on the Priest, take a Priest power action, do the double shipping normal stuff with the Temple and Earth Wand. That seems okay. Hello, good morning. Hey, my nice. Don't know what that means, but hey, they're figuring out that I'm bidding nomads a lot. But yeah. Okay, how much life do mermaids have here? Mermaids just seem like it's so variable where people start. If alchemists choose not to start or secure C1, mermaids on E4 is fine. And actually, alchemists maybe don't risk C1, right? If alchemists start C1 and mermaids just start E4 and mermaids take E5 from alchemists, it could get ugly. But we'll see. Terra Mystica, Tamai. I see you abbreviated. That makes sense. Duh. Okay. Anyhow, yeah. I don't know why a spectator is. I don't know what's happening here. You mean TM is Terraforming Mars? Oh god, no, you're not one of those people. No. I'm gonna have to temporarily time you out if you say things like that. Hey, we're playing the Nomads. Who could have ever predicted such a thing, given how I was bidden? I'm pretty happy to. I'm paid 11 points versus the sandwiched faction. I'm paying 6 and 7 points compared to other factions. I'm fine with this. I'm incredibly fine with this. I think the leech for the nomads this game is also just going to be great, right? Like, I think there's a lot of actions on the hex. Like, nomads are going to be on these 2 spots, and there's just going to be a lot of actions surrounding those hexes early. So if I go double temple, I think I also get great leech. Hey, Ghostly, what's up? We're playing Terra Mystica with some dubious competition, and we're debating doing double temple, double econ favors, because that's who we are. But yeah, no love for TM. Well, again, lots of love for Terra Mystica, but Terra Mystica came out before Terraforming Mars and was using TM for a while. So I refuse to accept that just because Terraforming Mars has subsequently become even more popular than Terra Mystica, that it gets to claim that it's the only TM We're just starting D3 and F3 always, so I'm not even going to mess around with placements here. Farming inexperienced players again. That's exactly Patrick. I'm down to a 550 elo. I don't even know what I'm doing. Right? I have to go play with people of my skill level. Better win this one or the elo take a hit. Yeah, I mean, look, it's fine. It's really fine. Mermaid starting D2 is not what I would do ever. Mermaid starting D2 is really bad if Alchemists decide to start C1. Also, you really want E4. Like, I guess as Mermaids, you're not sure you're getting temp shipping. Also, Witches starting C3. This is insanity. Mermaids can start D5 and cut you off. Like, what are you doing on C4? You cannot be on C3, Witches. If Mermaids do decide to start D5, they always are going to get C4 before you get to act due to player order. But again, we're playing with... But the 347 did this? Wow, they don't get punished though. Mermaids decide to start double over here. Alchemists... Yeah, Alchemists, do they go C1 or do they go E5? If they go C1, the Mermaids, like, this is, whatever, it's already a mess. But anyhow, everybody, yeah, I waited like 20 minutes this morning for a game. I wanted to play Terra Mystica, but there were very few tables, so I finally jumped over to this. We also have Landscapes on, which isn't really my preference, so like... but I couldn't get a table of only good players. Alchemists do start E5, so at least Mermaids get C1, but it looks like I just have Fantastic Leech coming in early, which I'm a huge fan of. Okay, where to go with this one, though? It's probably just E8. E8's usually the kind of classic coupling with all of this. I don't hate A5 here. But yeah, it's probably just E8. Witches will give me some leech as they build through here. But yeah, I am very tempted to just double temple here. Witches do take temp ship, so I mean that makes sense based where they started. But again, you start on C4 if you're gonna temp ship, because then you can take C3. That's fine, but don't. Everybody, don't start C3 as Witches. There's too many ways it goes wrong. The spade gets taken. If I got offered the spade, I would take the spade. But now we're just going to go double temple because I want to. It might not be the right thing, but good for me for these Mermaids placements. Yeah, Mermaids have to build next to me, which is great. Reminds me of one of our old chat games. CS took those 2 blue, protected by West Brown. You won as yellow. Yes. I do remember that game also, Mike, because, yeah, I was shocked when CS tried this because it did not work very well. But, yeah, the fact that Nomads basically get E2 protected here also, like, Alchemists aren't going to plow through here. Like, I might just get these 4 hexes in the center. I mean, Alchemist could take E6 on me, and I don't really care that much if that happens. But a Sanctuary Town is very likely through here. Center Town is a dream if it happens. This northern town is a possibility. Again, Alchemist could get in the way. So we might not even get that many towns, but we'll see. Alchemists do open with the expected priests, so they're going to do that stuff. I'm Alchemist's only neighbor, so I think I upgrade here first. Although Mermaids have to build next to me. Huh, interesting. Upgrading here is pretty good. Upgrading... I'm also Witch's only neighbor. I'm upgrading here first. Yeah, the Leech just looks... I mean, Mermaid's Leech also looks really good, but Mermaids are going to be super stifled for future growth. Like, Mermaids are picking up A4 blue, and they're picking up the H2 blue relatively early, right? I mean, that's the good news for Mermaids. The bad news for Mermaids is they've seeded the entire rest of the map. They're probably only getting on 2 natural blues with any speed. They probably eventually get I4, so that's good. But it's not even clear, like, they're probably not getting H4. And they're never getting D5 now. And so once they're cut off of that, they're never, like, they're only going to get 3 natural blues this game. That's very... rough. That's a rough game. Like, getting that few natural blues just does not bode well. I want the coins action pretty bad. Oh wait, am I getting double dig? Team, slow down. Slow down. Yeah, I also have an option to just double dig. and put down dwellings. So yeah, 2 digs is better than 2 temples. I unfortunately have to agree. 2 digs is just better than 2 temples. Sorry, team. I thought we were something else, but the double temple is not happening because yeah, this is too good. Do it for Nerdcube. Yeah, no. Even Nerdcube would probably do this. This is just better. It's a sad day because I liked the double temple line, but this is much better. I am still taking Fire 1. I'm going to have excellent worker production. I'm going to want the coins, and we still might get a second temple fairly early. Possibly as early as next round. But realistically, I might just build tons of trading posts and then try to... I'm now inclined, I think I'm inclined actually to just build lots of trading posts and then build 2 temples in round 4. I tried a temple for Earth 1 and Air 1 in round 4. I think that's the game plan now. Didn't fancy E6? Oh, yeah, I could have dug E6. Good call, Ghostly. Yeah, the brown middle was definitely more important. Everybody, I should have taken E6. I'm just a dummy that's not actually paying attention, and this is why my elo sucks. Also, my temple's in the wrong location now. I totally forgot / missed I might get this. Also, remember when I said I would get Earth 1 in round 4? Who am I kidding? I'm not getting Earth 1. These are all Earth 1 rushers. Yeah, they're all, yeah, of course. Of course they are. Who was I kidding? I was gonna get Earth 1 in round 4. Who do I think I'm playing with? Nah, yeah, we're just gonna aim for building lots of trading posts in this round and then build temples, and it's gonna be fine. I'll probably hard dig E6 next round. I definitely should have locked up E6 this round, but I'm very likely just to hard dig this next round. I think hard dig and build a dwelling, and then just move on with our lives. Lots of trading posts in this round looks good. Again, the game's like a little coin tight. Priests to the cults look excellent. I mean, the one downside again is that priests do look really good this game. But Earth 1 rushers, I should have known. Monster Econ, how about Temple Water 1 plus a trading post here? No. No. I refuse. It's a reasonable line, to be honest, but I'm just gonna take Fire 1 because that's who I am. My instincts say take Fire 1, keep lots of dwellings on the board. Get that worker production. Alchemists go priest to fire? Oh boy, alchemists I thought were gonna advance ship twice, but instead they're gonna do this. Also, who took single dig? Wait a sec. Mermaids took single dig and they still have the spade? Okay, actually, that's fine. Unexpected. Stronghold into landscape. We're not... I could have built the stronghold, that's true. I could have built the stronghold, but that's also not happening. I definitely want I want this coin production. I have temple plus 4 dwelling opening. Like, I have tons of workers. I need coins. Like, which is where Mike's right. I could build a trading post, but I don't think that's actually good compared to just doing this. Also, it looks like I get to pass on to worker power plus a coin. I'm dangerously close to getting double dig next round. I'm going to be 1 power short, and it does not look likely that I get that power. But it's fine. I'm just going to hard dig E6 next round and be happy. I guess Alchemist might pass here. Alchemist might pass an open double dig, actually, now that I look at it, because this is... I thought for sure they had locked up the Priest because they were going for shipping, but they're just... They're a wild card. Oh, but they said the Priest... Okay, Alchemist are being culty. Remember how I thought I was going to be the culty faction? Good joke. I will just pass for Worker Power Coin. I really would like to pass onto this pass tile in round 3. That's my dream. I don't know if it'll be there, but that's my dream. I could open next round with single dig. I'm actually gonna have to consider that too. I don't love single dig, but I don't hate single dig. Also, I could just do 2 hard digs though, right? I actually have enough workers now to just do 2 hard digs plus build 2 dwellings. My next round might just be hard dig dwelling, hard dig dwelling. And then I'd be at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dwellings. I'd have 7 worker income so that I could easily build like the 3 trading posts that I want to. Mermaids take workers because they're going to build more dwellings. Okay, mermaids are opening temple plus 5 dwellings. So kudos to them. They are pulling off a kind of a scary opening. The downside is I think they're going to struggle producing... Again, I think long-term they have big problems. Like this Earth 1 I think is very short-sighted because they just have nowhere... Like, they don't have good expansion from here, but maybe they'll prove me wrong. They at least have points, and I'm a chump who doesn't really have points, so... I'm also a chump who should be on E6 right now rather than G2, but I'm a chump. Witches passed for the coins. That makes enough sense. Witches are going to get double dig next round. And I am not going to stop them. Give Loki a treat. Relentless. Thanks so much. I'll get on that in a sec. Sorry, I missed that. Alchemists now take temp ship. Okay, sure. Mermaids are getting their dwellings down, which is cool. Mermaids are gonna get to... Hopefully the mermaids don't take my trading post tile, and then hopefully I can do my trading post plan. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. There's also gonna be an open spade tile, which is pretty good. It's always pretty good early. Hey, Zach. Welcome. I'm doing questionable things already. Mermaids being like 24 points ahead of me already is slightly scary, but again, they have no coins, so hopefully that continues. I could take a coins action here, but that's actually a little slow. I think I'm gonna hard dig and build, and then try to pass for the tile that I really want. And call that a day. I do kind of want to send this priest to water, I guess, but meh. I actually just really want this, and Alchemists are probably going to take it. Alchemists are so hard to predict. I should just lock this up. This is my bad that I didn't lock it up last round, but I'll lock it up now. They should take Priest, double Priest to the Earth. Is D2 good as Mermaids? D2 is not good as Mermaids. Probably wheel 7 coins. I agree with that too. I think it's very likely I could get the coin action back if I wanted anyhow. And it's not clear to me I get E6 back, so I think this is better. Plus witches are about to probably double dig these guys, so that I'm getting slightly more leech also. Yeah, I'm still quite happy. Witches they are double digging. The track says double dig. It all makes sense. They are locking up the center. All this makes sense. I probably should take a coins action. I really want to pass for this trading post tile very badly. I cannot stress quite how badly I want it, which is where taking the coins is a little bit... Maybe I don't take the coins. Maybe I take the coins to open next round. I think I might just save this and take the coins next round. Convert 1 power to coin because I'm still getting some leech. Just build 1 more dwelling and then get out of here onto the tile that I really want. Because building like 3 or even all 4 trading posts next round looks very good to me. Single dig gets taken by alchemists. This is ugly, but it's... I guess they advance ship and they go build. Mermaids get the priest of water. That makes sense. Okay, if I take coins, then build, then pass... I think the coins just costs me here. I think I open coins next round. I really do think that's better. Do I want this hex or this hex? I think I want... Well, if I go here, I can build a town next round. Wait a sec. I also get a town next round this way. Yeah, that's actually pretty good, right? That's pretty dang good. Getting a town next round seems dandy, actually. Yeah, I like this. All right. Couple early hard digs, but it's all good. I will take the 2 for 1. It's fine. We'll pass for the tile we want, and we will have the option to just build 4 trading posts. Trading post, trading post, trading post, trading post. Next round looks pretty damn good on this tile. I mean, it's going to make my Fire 1 a little obsolete, because my coin income is going to be absolutely absurd. But is it really a bad thing to have absolutely absurd coin income when I still am going to eventually need 2 shipping? I'm going to try to build... I'm definitely building an Air 1 temple. Not having Earth 1 available is a little bit sad for this game plan because I'm building all my trading posts without Water 1. But whatever, we'll live with just Air 1 this game. Allows me to build multiple temples. Yeah, exactly. Just 2 temple in round 4. Well, I have the workers for it. Yeah, that's the thing I was just kind of thinking about too, right? I'm gonna be down to 1, 2, 3. I'll be down to 3 worker income. So that part's a little sketchy about 4 trading. I might just settle for 3 trading posts. We'll think about it. Also, I could take the first priest to air here. I don't know what mermaids are up to, though. I'm going to pass and lock up my pass tile, and then I'll just take the coins action next round. I think that's just better here. Yeah, I think this is clean. Worker action should not be contested. Yeah, I mean, worker action's inefficient, so I don't like taking worker actions. But there's also a lot of workers on the pass tiles, right? Workers, workers, workers. Like, the pass tiles have a lot of workers. The pass tiles only have a couple of coins. And my opponents are all presumably going to be a bit more coin-starved. It's not clear to me that this alchemist player even understands using their conversion power particularly aggressively. But we'll see. I could do a worker town. Yes, I also could do a worker town. I agree. That's very possible. Currently, my inclination, even though I'm behind on the cults, is to just take 2 key, though. 2 key's gotta be strong. Is coin action next round worth it if I build 4 trading posts? That's actually slightly a fair question now that you say that to Zach. I don't have to open a coin action because I have 1,000,000 coins already. God, not taking a coin action feels wrong, but it might actually be right. But meh, we'll figure it out. I will spend it on temples. I mean, I'm going to spend it on temples and shipping and dwellings. And that's true. Once I build temples, I don't get as many coin income because I'm replacing the trading posts. And I'm replacing the trading posts that produce 3 and 4 coins. What else would I take? 2 temples, 10 coins, kills my income. Yeah, you guys are right. I take the coins anyhow, and it'll work. I open coin power action. I take double... I try to take 2 key town. Witches could beat me to 2 key town because I'm going to open a coins action. So witches will have temple on the 2 key town and probably take it. So if 2 key town gets taken... I might just settle for a single key town. I mean, cults still have got to be valuable in a game where this is happening. And by this is happening, I mean, it's just these factions. Like, these people are sent per... I mean, kudos to my opponents. Like, they are building reasonable cult. Like, they're fighting cults harder than I wanted. I'm winning network by a mile this game. I've already decided that network is mine. With this extra cash, imagine if we had water one instead of fire one. I mean... Yeah, it does turn out that I probably should have just taken water one, Mike, but that's not who I am, so whatever. Do I have any choice other than single key if lose two key? I mean, there's definitely lots of other town choices. I'm just not sure any of them are better. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Are any of them better? Witches get a coin action. Witches economy is looking nice also. And some of them actually have points, whereas I don't, so... This could be one of the classic I went too much econ and not enough points, but hey, that's also me, so whatever. If that's what I've caused myself, I'll survive. Which is pass on the big building. That's kind of interesting. I am curious how many people are going to try to eke out Water One next round. I'll be very interested in that. Alchemist sent another priest to a cult. Okay. Question is 4 towns, yes or no? No. Priest town, Black opened hard on cults. Looks like they'll spend a ton to stay ahead. It does look like Black is fairly committed to the towns. 2 keys maybe not worth it. I'm still taking 2 key if it's offered. I think 2 keys too valuable. I think 2 key is very valuable even in just locking up lots of third places. In a game without any cult factions, the swing on having 2 key versus not 2 key has got to be too good. Yeah, I'm still gonna take 2 key town. I might take water 2. Actually, now talking more about this too, I wasn't sure what I'm taking air 1. But I might take a water 2 temple, actually, too. Water 2 plus air 1 and round 4 looks pretty reasonable here if I get a 2 key town. I will be able to contest cults this game somewhat. Especially if I'm earning 3 priests around, I'll be able to jam some priests onto the cults still. But we'll see. I don't think I get 2 key town. I think witches are going to take 2 key town because I mean, again, this is where like I don't have to open the coin action next round. I guess I could once again delay the. I could just delay, like I could delay taking the coin action entirely and just claim that 2 key town's actually that important and prioritize 2 key town. I actually don't know if I hate that plan. Prioritize 2 key town here? Nobody has power? I mean, everybody's about to get power because building trading posts is going to give people tons of power. That's the problem. Like, I'm going to give witches tons of power. Everybody's presumably going to get power pretty quickly, but I might be able to win the race to 2 key town and then still get the coin action. And I think I'm going to greed that line to start with. I think I do actually like the 2 key town here enough to prioritize it. Yeah, I think I do. It could be wrong, but I'm doing it. Witches are loaded. Yeah, witches have a ton of resources. They've done pretty well for themselves. I've fed them a lot of leech. The fact mermaids haven't got in their way is annoying. This game's, yeah, again, developed in a lot of weird ways. But I think witches opening placements were crazy. Like, again, I think placing C3 when mermaids can start D5 and cut you off. Like, if mermaids actually decided to fight witches this game and started on D5, if mermaids, yeah, started on E4 and D5 like they probably should have, yikes. Absolute yikes. But that was a lot of thinking for mermaids. Witches decide to go Air 1, so the good news, team, is that I can just take the coin's power action now. Because witches have given me tempo for 2-key town. I missed all the priests' 3 spots, to be fair, but my opponents prioritized them way more than I expected, particularly alchemists. Alchemists have generated a lot of priests, and I thought they needed more priests for other stuff, but who am I to tell them what they need? But I will take coins, and I still will take a 2-key town, and I'm going to claim it's fine. I should send a Priest to Water in here also. Priest to Water with 2-key town buys me a spade. Buying myself a spade seems, you know, a reasonably good thing to do. I will not accept a 5 for 4. I actually don't think I can make up those points very easily. Witches go Water 1. Which I kind of expected some people try to go Water 1 here. And they're on the big building tile. Yeah, this is actually pretty slick for witches. I don't know if it's good for witches in terms of their sanctuary is in a dumb spot. So I think it makes 3 towning a little hard for them. Like, they still technically could get 3 towns. Maybe. But, like, alchemists have got to be thinking about taking B4 and B5, which is going to leave witches with just 2 towns, but that's fine. Wait, who else just took Water 1? Alchemists? No. Oh, Oh, bonus card action. They took a Water Cult step. Okay. I need to take 2-key town if that's the plan. May as well... Yeah, this is the better spot. Alright. We're doing it still. I'm claiming this is worth it, but I gotta admit, my direct points are not excellent here. Direct points are a little scary, but I think these cult steps are just gotta be very good in a game where there's no particularly culty faction. I think it's gonna make it a lot easier for me to take 2nd and 3rd places. It's helping me get a spade this round, which I think is useful. Priest to Water this round? Yep, absolutely Priest to Water this round. That's my next action is Priest to Water. I definitely need these spots not to dry up, but Priest to Water to buy a spade is very good here. I am not accepting this 4 for 3 either. I just don't think I can use this 4 for 3 particularly efficiently. I think these are too much leech. Witches take a cult town, which I kind of expected them to do. I don't want this. This is too much leech. I can't use it. I don't have enough ways to make points. My opponents have points. I don't. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Might not be entirely okay. One slight advantage here is that witches don't actually have neighbors. Like, witches don't really have developed other town spots, and they don't really have spots to put trading posts this round that have neighbors. But witches do have Earth 1, Water 1, and like an okay economy. So I mean, it's definitely some problems for me. Alchemists get the stronghold up. That's fine. Does not concern me in the slightest. That stronghold location also looks dubious, so. The good news is the Alchemists are at least making it easy to beat them, I think. I said after all that I wanted to do a Priest of Water. Priest of Water also allows me to accept 3 for 2 leeches, which I might consider. That might be close enough to a deal for me, but I think everything else is pretty dubious. I could send my other Priest of Water this round, by the way. So I need one more Priest of Water this round if I plan to actually take Water 2 next round. Should mean that I win the Water Cult. And I do think I'm probably taking Water 2 next round. Because I'm going to double Temple, and one of the temples is clearly Air 1. But I can't take Earth 1. I could take Water 1. But Water 1's like only 6 points, whereas Water 2 might actually just be cleaner. But maybe it's better just to take Water 1 and have a guaranteed 6 points. Interesting. Are the extra 4 cult steps worth 6 points? I don't know. It might be better just to go Water 1, Air 1, deny Water 1 to the table. Although I denied Water 1 probably to Alchemist or Mermaids. It doesn't actually matter, yeah. Witches do have the ability to double dig here, but they take a priest. Were witches supposed to take a cult town, actually? Now that I look at it, witches were probably supposed to take a ship town, right? Witches really would have liked a ship town. Okay, alchemists have got onto the water cult. Witches want to send a priest to water cult, so this comes with the added benefit of denying witches a water cult spade if I slam this priest in. And I think it means I easily win water cult in the future. For all of those reasons, I think I actually am supposed to do this. I think that's too easy, right? Yeah, that's, I think, too valuable. Too valuable, I think, to ignore. My own shipping is pretty slow, but I definitely plan to be shipping in round 5, right? I'm going to make tons of priest production and have bonus cult coins coming in, so it's going to be totally fine to just plan to ship a ton in this round and build dwellings on open yellow hexes. But that's the game plan. But yeah, the fact that witches are going to be at like mid 70s or 80 points after this round, being at like 80 points after round 3 when you still have Earth 1, Water 1, and your witches, that's concerning. It's very concerning. I don't think I'm that worried about mermaids. Mermaids are doing fine, but again, I think long term they don't expand enough. I think the thing I'm worried about witches is like witches have okay cult positioning. I think witches are probably getting second on network. And witches have clear point scoring opportunities, whereas I have less I have less clear point scoring opportunities. Although, how bad am I going to be at the end of this round? I'm getting to... No, one of my yellow hexes. My yellow hex is under threat. The risky run by assuming the other opponents will play to block. I'm not even assuming they're going to block. I just assume the opponents actually contest reasonable things, yeah. But I mean, again, it's hard because we're playing with dubious rated opponents. So yeah, I mean, it was always going to be hard to have them do what I wanted them to do. But I will be at 52 points at the end of this round, though. It's actually not that bad. I don't get to pass for worker power, which is kind of sad because I actually would like more workers. More workers is appreciated. I could, I guess, take a worker power action this round to prepare ourselves. And actually, that might be what I am supposed to do. Maybe I'm supposed to take a workers power action here. The reason being, I'm only going to have 3 workers next round, but I want to build 2 temples, and I probably just want to build another dwelling next round. I mean, building dwellings in this round is cute and all, but I'm going to have an open yellow hex because of the cult spade, so... Yeah, I actually might wind up taking this workers power action also. Alchemists are going to double dig right now, probably. Turn this black. We'll see. We'll see how it looks. Okay. My opponents have jammed up the cults more than I thought. There's a lot of priests that have been invested in cults and not into shipping, which, again, fair enough, but... Alchemists choose not to double dig right now. They're going to open double dig next round and pass for the spade here. I would like them to pass for the spade here. I don't want witches to be able to pass for the spade. Yeah, good. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. I also don't want witches to be able to pass for my tile, so... Hopefully witches build an expensive trading post here and then pass. Or build a cheap trading post, that's fine. Overbuilding their town, giving me a free leech, cool. I think witches are out of action, so I think I was already talking about these workers. These workers come with the added benefit of not handing the witches more points, and I think witches are my main competition, so for all the reasons, I will just do this right now. Also, I could, if I do this, I might be buying myself the ability to pass onto the 2 worker tile, and honestly, just 2 workers is very good for me. I like workers. I don't actually have tons of workers at the moment, so passing for just 2 workers seems great. Witches could take a spade action here, but no, they do just pass. But yeah, they're at 80 points, which I don't love that. Don't love that. But I do like that I get to pass for 2 workers. Yes, please. Okay. Pretty easy. We're digging E2 to yellow. Next round I build temple, build a dwelling. Probably build a dwelling. We maybe get to delay building this dwelling until we actually score it in the next round. We'll see. Yeah, I'll have to think about that slightly. Oh no, alchemists, your power level, it's all wrong. You get a free thing. I can water 1 if I build 3 temples. Well, I can only build 2 temples. I can only build 2 more temples. But yes, I can build water 1. That part's been discussed. I don't know if I want water 1 or if I want water 2. I actually genuinely don't know here. Part of me really just wants water 2. But I probably am supposed to just take water 1 and air 1 here. Water 1 and air 1 go a long ways to answering questions of how I'm going to score. Mermaids get a pretty needed coin action. Mermaids are pretty loaded now. Yeah, my opponents are doing reasonable things. Don't like that. I don't like my opponents being reasonable. That's not what we're here for. Anyhow, yeah, I think I probably am supposed to go water 1 plus air 1 this round. The more I look at water 2 and the more I think about it, it's cute, but it's probably unnecessary. I probably should just go water 1, air 1 and try to pass back onto the trading post tile. I don't think I have a good reason to do anything else. As you can see, I'm kind of am overproducing coins. So it does unfortunately look like witches might be trying to have a very fast round though. Witches might have the same idea of passing fast on the trading post tile, which is very reasonable. They took air 1. They're running good. Gonna take air 1 first here. I'm probably supposed to take water 1, but there's still 2 copies of water 1. Like, even if mermaids build water 1, alchemist would have to sanctuary for water 1, and I don't think that's a real threat. I also don't, again, I'm not even as sure about how much I care about. I don't really know how much I care about water 1, truthfully. I think it's useful, but I think I care greatly about air 1. Alchemist get a town. Not sure what town alchemists want. It might be the other cult town, because it does look like they're still dreaming of culty things. Yeah, and it is cult town. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably just water 1 now. The thing is, I'm eventually building a sanctuary, and the sanctuary in the final round can just be kind of whatever cult town I need. I don't need to earn this priest from this. I don't even know if I'll be able to earn this priest, because I'm probably going to send another priest to a cult at some point. Like, I'm producing 1,000,000 priests, so. Witches do use their bonus card action on Earth. That's a little greedy, but I guess I'm not passing just yet. But that's interesting. But yeah, I'm going to take water 1 here. Water 1's at least 6 points. So I think 6 points is just clearly necessary for me. I need points. It looks a lot like Mike was correct that I wasn't supposed to take Fire 1 this game and I should have just opened Water 1. I could be running probably a Water 1, Water 2, Air 1 game here and never needed Fire 1 because I just have too many damn coins. So that's a little sad. But hey, stuff happens. If witches do pass here, which I'm anticipating them doing so, if witches pass, then I probably just stay in the round here and advance ship and build dwellings anyhow. I know the dwelling round is next round, but I'm not building all these dwellings next round. And I still need to build these trading posts and more dwellings, so like I think I just need the worker economy. So if I stay in the round, I could build a dwelling, advance ship, build a dwelling, which is like quite good. But this tile is like 6 points to me. It's probably six. The dream would be 8, but I don't know if I can actually realistically afford that with my worker income. But 4 power to 2 worker, good? Not really. I think I want to save the power I currently have for double dig next round. I do need more spades, so I think saving power for spades is actually useful here. There's still a dream, by the way. Alchemists have not looked interested in this. Like, there is still third town potential right through here also if I leave it, if I work at it. That would involve Sanctuary for Fire 2, but Sanctuary for Fire 2 and getting 2 more towns, or like 3 towning, is also an excellent way to try to win this game. It's far from guaranteed that's actually going to be available to me because alchemists at some point are going to figure out how to actually dig and do things, but alchemists are kind of a wild card this game, right? So who knows? Like, there's a chance that that works. Okay, there's no chance that that works. All right, there we go. That dream's gone now. But hey, that's good. Now we know. Witches do pass as expected for the trading post tile. Good for them. Now we have some choices. Yeah, that's actually unfortunate that I let Alchemist beat me to B2 because it makes it a lot harder to get to A8 at any point. Like, maybe I could get A6, A8, but now it does look like Alchemists are going to think about towning. Although maybe Alchemists are going to triple dig this and bridge again. Who knows? Okay. Well, actually, do I want to convert power? Let's think about this for a sec. What are we up to? I don't think I ever take this because I'm producing 1,000,000 priests. Clearly stream sniping. Nah. Workers into Sanctuary into Temple. Workers into Sanctuary into Temple. Oh my god. Technically, we could do that. We could Sanctuary and Temple this round, couldn't we? And we're on the big building tile. Yeah, that just kills us, but it is a funny thought. Now I'm just gonna build this dwelling for a sec. The problem is, do I want to cycle my power at all? Am I getting leech anywhere that I care about? I don't think I am. I don't think I need to cycle just yet. It's all points. It is all points, and I have said that I need points, right? But I think that kills our economy. Producing 4 priests does not actually sound good. I think it's too economy killing. Also, it's slightly phantom points because I will eventually build the sanctuary for points anyhow. So like, yes, sanctuary plus temple right now is 8 points, but like I'm eventually getting 5 points if I just do it. So it's really only netting 3 points, and it's costing me 8 or 1 point. So it's really only 2 points right now. And those 2 points come at the cost of significant economy, and so it's actually a bad deal. But to be clear, I mean, I think you know that in reality, but trying to explain to others who might be watching this why that's a bad plan. The difference in my economy from what I'm about to do compared to that line is pretty great. Mermaids get the bridge they need. It's cute. It's fine. All right. When did we allow all of our opponents to have like actually good economies and too many points? Oh, all right. We can dream that alchemists are gonna like actually mess with Witch's future dream zone, but I don't have high hopes. I'm continuing to not do anything with my power, but I think that's okay. I don't think I'm being offered leeches that I'd accept anyhow. It looks like I'm finally using up all my coins at least, because I plan to advance ship next round. I'm gonna probably advance ship twice next round in order to reach a bunch of yellows. So the good news is we're finally gonna have use for all of our freaking coins. The bad news is we're still like looking at, we're gonna end this game at like 100 to 110 points. And the problem is it looks like witches are gonna end this game at like 130 to 140 points, and then there's still post game, and post game is looking almost as good for witches as it is for me. I still anticipate winning network. Although, God, Alchemist's network is going to be closer than I want, although maybe Alchemists... I guess Alchemists still have a lot to do, too, to be competitive on network, but they might get there. Anyhow, I'm hoping to win network, but I was going to say I thought witches were getting second on network, but I guess I could now dream that I get first network, Alchemists get second, and witches get third. I just don't think mermaids can be competitive on network in this setup. They have one more natural blue, and then where are they going? Like, they've been totally cut off. Like, witches are totally a non-factor, or mermaids are a non-factor for network. I think mermaids are not a factor for much of anything here, but witches playing 6 structure game. I can capture B4 this round. That's very expensive. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not trying to capture B4 this round. I think that's a sizable mistake to attempt. Okay, the cults are almost entirely full, everybody. How did our opponents commit so much effort to the cults? Capture the hex. Anyhow, okay. I think I'm shipping twice next round, and then yeah, I'm hoping to get double dig next round also, which is far from clear what's happening. I don't know for sure what witches are doing. I do know that there's way too many effing priests in this game. I would like to send one priest to air next round at least to lock up some sort of cults. Cause yeah, I'm super overproducing priests for this end game. Given how the cults are already so junked up. My opponents really played into this way more than I expected, which is probably good for them, but it's bad for me. Okay, I could single dig right now just to put out my dumb landscape. Or actually to put down one more dwelling. I could single dig right now to put down one more dwelling. I actually don't hate single digging D6 at the moment so that I can reach this and getting better worker income. I would like double dig next round, but the problem is I really don't like witches might just like double dig at the start of next round. I genuinely don't know what to expect out of them. But this like guaranteedly buys my way to this hex, which is useful. And this gets me another worker right now. I know that it's like not getting me points, but I'm realizing I need lots of workers still if I plan to build Sanctuary. I plan to build 2 trading posts, and I plan to build all those dwellings. So I need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 workers for the game still. I presently... Well, actually, I'm pretty close to that. Okay, I'm pretty close to that. And I could just pass for the spade here? Oh, well, okay, well that's actually... Talking that through seems to have solved all problems. If I get double dig next round, cool. If I don't, I'm just passing for the spade. I have enough workers to achieve things. Especially because my priests... Unfortunately, my priests are basically... Some of them are turning into workers by the end of this game, probably. In the final round. Yeah, that's probably true. Okay. Beat at only 65. Kind of an issue. Kind of an issue. We've been talking about this issue for a while. But witches look like they just have too much. I'm probably not going to catch them. So remember when Ghostly said I was going to take an elo hit? Looks like I'm going to take an elo hit. I paid too much for a Nomads, and I played too economic for a game that didn't super reward it. I also anticipated doing better on cults because I thought I would get the ability to actually send a few more priests to cults in the end game, but Alchemist generated 5 priests onto the cults because I guess partly landscape, partly they're a weaker player that have overplayed cults and probably not played the board as much as they should be, but who am I to tell them what they should be doing? But yeah, I mean, my opponents generated a lot of priests onto the cult, more so than I expected them to invest in. But it's pretty good for them, so whatever. It also meant the game was far less coin tight than I said it was, so taking the fire 1 is bad compared to, as Mike said, I actually could have just opened this game water 1. That also looks significantly better now. But hey, we play games and we make some mistakes and whatever. We're playing Terra Mystica, we're having fun, but don't think we're winning. I think it looks pretty hard to win from this position. I think it's pretty much witches have won. To be fair, I think I've pretty much beat mermaids and alchemists. Mermaids and alchemists are at very similar point values to me, and I don't see how they're better than me. Oh, except mermaids have chosen to go water too. So remember the one cult I thought I was going to win? Remember that cult I thought I was going to win? That was cute of me. What a nightmare team. Alright, so it turns out that Tukey Town was also just wrong. I thought, cults were going to be there, but both Alchemist and Mermaids have decided they want to play a culty game also, rather than anything else. So there's so many priests in this game too. Look at this. We're all overproducing priests by a mile, given how many priest slots are open. But okay, what's important this round? If I get offered double dig here, I take it, but I don't get offered double dig as expected, which is just snap it. Yep. Okay, so first priority business is priest to heir. Sometimes you play the cult, sometimes the cults play you. Yeah. I've been slightly punished here. Now, to be fair, I still think Tukey Town was the right call, and I still don't think it's that bad. I think Tukey Town, again, if I don't have Tukey Town and somebody else does, like, I think I have, like, no cult points, whereas I am at least getting a decent number of, like, second and thirds here. But yeah, I mean, I would have preferred to be winning a couple cults off of taking Tukey Town. And it looks like I'm not going to win a single cult, is probably what's happening. So, yeah, that's a problem, but... anyhow, yeah, I think my most important move here is actually just Priest to Heir. I think Priest to Heir should get me second place on the Heir cult. And I have an extra Priest. Otherwise, I want to advance ship. Alchemists, I suppose, actually have to worry about their own connection. Wait a sec. Let's think about this for a sec. Alchemists are connecting through the south, right? Alchemists are actually connecting through the south, not through the north. So these hexes are safe. So I don't need to worry about them. Alchemists have advanced on the dig track. So Alchemists could take any hex. And God knows what it is, but like Alchemists shouldn't care about this. And even if they care about this, I can later get this in order to get to there. Yeah, cool. All right, we talked a lot to conclude about just doing what I wanted to do anyhow. I probably get single dig this round. It does look like I want single dig, but I'm spading d6. I think I'm taking d6 is the plan, and then I'm also taking a6 would be the other plan, although Alchemist might be locking up a6 in a sec, actually. That might be what Alchemists are doing. They might be locking up this town space, but... Stronghold town in the south. I don't think I have enough time or resources for that. I've definitely like debated that. It's conceivably a thing I could do, but I don't think it's actually worth it. Remember how I thought I might get single dig? Yeah, no single dig for us because reasons. So that's unfortunate. If green doesn't ship. Yeah, I don't think Stronghold Town is correct. I think Stronghold's too expensive. I don't think I have enough workers. I need the Sanctuary anyhow. Coins are not contested this round. I know coins are like a thing but like look at everybody's coins. Nobody needs coins. It's a weird game, but nobody cares about the coins at all. They're not actually, yeah. They're just not. Nobody's interested in them. I'm not interested in them. I don't care. Coins are just not a thing. Hey, Alchemists are leaving A6, A5 open. They are going to go for this dumb bridge town. I approve of that. That's fine. You'd still take them to big buildings next round. I'm not taking the coins. The coins are a big trap. Coins are like a big trap, I think. I think they're very unnecessary. Also, I'm not building the stronghold. I don't know where this stronghold came into view, but it's not. The stronghold is dumb. It's not happening. I might be taking 2 workers as a hard dig this round. That's not totally out of the question yet. But we're going to start by advancing ship, I think. I think I continue to believe that witches have won this game by quite a bit. The more I keep looking, it looks bad. I think witches could just pass for the big building tile here even as an option for them, which is ugly, but it might be their move. Which should be messy, because I kind of need a long round, but I also kind of need the trading post pass tile probably, but can't have everything, so... Expensive trading post for the witches. Okay. Witches do have small... Oh my god, the alchemists take my hex? Why? Well, okay, well, for fuck's sake, team, we can just lose. That's fine. I guess alchemists are dreaming that this is a town of theirs, these hexes, and then they're gonna connect. They still need whatever. Okay, I did not expect that. I didn't expect that. But whatever, we're playing with wild cards. This is what happens. We're gonna play the cults hard. We're gonna mess with me. We're gonna have let witches, though, beat us to b5 because why would we have shipped earlier in the game instead of sending all of our priests to the cults? If we wanted that town, we wouldn't. We'd rather do this. Bleh. Bleh. What a trash game from me, though. I should have done better. I should have played different, but I also could have had things go slightly better than this, for sure. But this is the problem of Terra Mystica, right? I mean, ultimately, this is one of the toughest things. Like, the pass tiles are breaking great for witches, because people are not contesting those for some reason. Whereas people are like fighting for some of the hexes and spots I wanted. Like it's weird, right? People are doing things I wouldn't expect, but Stronghold Town in the south looks safe enough. I still think it's just absurd. It's a crazy number of resources, right? It doesn't how like I think it's way too expensive in terms of like what it does to actually help me win. I think it's way too many resources also, right? I have to build both. You think I'm building both big buildings next round plus like enough stuff to compete on network and things? I don't think so. I do not think so. I'm not building the Stronghold Town, I'm sorry. I just don't see how I can Stronghold Town without giving up network or without giving up other significant things. Our priests are now single steps because I nuke a green. I agreed that I nuke a green, but I'm not. I'm literally not competing with witches, right? I'm just not competing with witches. Witches have already won the game. They're like right. I'm not ever beating witches from this position. Alchemists now decide that past tiles are valuable. That's delightful. The good news is it means I guaranteedly get this stretch, so I guess that's something at least. I can sneak into these two. And I would like to do so. Anyhow, I think nuking a green has no value at this point. I think I have to accept witches have beat me, and I think I need to just desperately make sure I get second. As much as I claimed earlier that I could easily beat mermaids and alchemists because they made enough mistakes, and I think that's mostly the case. I think I have to still play a little carefully because my game's not that great. I have issues. It does look like I'm going to consider a coin action here, actually. I should have probably considered the coins a second earlier because mermaids can take them now. But it does actually look like a coins action is useful here because I still have a good amount of stuff to build. And I don't have quite enough coins at the moment. And I don't know... Well, I need power for a single dig next round, to be honest. But... I'm actually missing a hex, too, right? The dream world is that I get 1, 2, 3, 4 more structures down. I only have 1, 2, plus a dig. So I guess I need double dig next round if I actually want to truly get my network to where I'd like it to be, which my network would be just -2 structures, which would be very dreamy. I guess alchemists are not actually... Alchemists are going to be left with 3 structures at least, always, as will witches. Okay, never mind. I don't actually need that final structure. I have network 1. So that part at least went according to plan. Oh, yeah, I talked about wanting this coins action. Do I actually want this coins action? I mean, I'm about to do a power to a coin this round anyhow. And now I do still need single dig next round, but I can get single dig next round. Yeah, I can get single dig next round. I'm going to build a dwelling and then a trading post. We'll have a great economy. We're going to get at least 1 town in the final round. We can take a high value town. But yeah, cults are uglier than I wanted, but what am I even taking actually? Because I don't even know what I'm taking. Okay. I want this dwelling. I definitely want this trading post because it's going to give me better town temple when I sanctuary. And I'm just passing for worker power, because that gives me things I kind of need. Yeah, the priest is actually useless. I already am maxing my priest production at 4. And temp shipping is dumb. Yup. Okay. Good talk. Good talk. Worker power coin it is. Okay. I'm 20 points behind witches. And cults are not great. I at least have network. Witches get a town, I get a town. Witches have earth 1, water 1, air 1. I have only water 1, air 1. We have similar resources. Yeah, I just don't think I could make up these 20 points on witches in like any scenarios. So I think it's correct. Wow, single dig gets taken this round. So I wanted single dig, I thought, but I also just want the 11-point town. Priest towns look dumb, and every other town is also bad. So I would really like the 11-point town, and I think that's actually what I have to do first action. As soon as I would take air 3 and threaten witches on air, I have to assume. I have to assume air 3 is pretty useless, so it's probably fire 3. It's probably fire 3, right? I mean, alchemists are going to wind up taking fire 2 anyhow. So it's really just leapfrogging the mermaids by 1. It could be earth 3, and then what? My cult positioning's not good. Air 3 has to be useless though, right? Like witches will just always close out air. Witches are always closing out air on me. Mermaids have an extra cult step, so whatever I decide to do, mermaids are gonna meddle with. So I mean, it could just be earth 3. Conversion of fire 3. Good call. Yeah. Except I'm already too late for conversions, right? Or am I allowed to convert if I hit over here still? No, conversions are temporarily blanked out. Well, that's gross. I mean, it's probably supposed to be fire 3. Fire 3 or earth 3. Maybe earth 3. Earth 3 at least kind of messes with the witches, and I have enough priests. I could send a single priest. I could send a handful of single priests to earth. I mean, I guess so can my opponents. Witches are never going to contest me on the fire track, though, is the good news. Well, except, do witches have to fire too? Witches might have to fire too. Or no, they stronghold in trading post. Okay, they stronghold in trading post. It's very not clear, but I'm going to go Earth 3. But yeah, it's not at all clear that that's correct. I might take worker power action next, actually. Worker power action and just advancing dig as some points. And I really don't have to build these things for network, right? I don't know. Consolation is that Earth 3 is power efficient. Yeah, that part's true. My power is at a weird point, so. I definitely build this trading post still because it's great points. Witches send a priest to the Earth track. Delightful. Just delightful. Yes, please, let's fight. Why would we not fight? Fight. I didn't convert at the end of the turn. I mean, I did not expect to get a free leech. And I still thought I might need double dig, but I'm now not convinced I need double dig. But maybe I should still just take double dig. Double dig makes it very easy for me to contest network. Oh, actually, I should just double dig, right? I should just double dig, and then I still can think about just advancing digs for points. Fire 3 gets taken, so I think I'm glad that I've chosen to just let the Earth track be. Or the Fire track be. The Earth track, I don't know. We get the landscape down if we want it. Yeah, that's That's why I think I'm supposed to double dig and put the landscape down. I think I double dig, put the landscape down, and just make it trivial to win network. Because Alchemists are still gonna... I don't know quite where Alchemists are gonna get. But Alchemists are presumably gonna get to like 1, 2, 3, 4-ish to 5-ish structures left on their board. So, I mean, I have to... I'm at 5 structures at the moment. Like, I need to probably get 2 structures down, which means that I need a dig and a build. So if I only need 1 dig, maybe I can still just advance dig is better. It might be better just to advance dig and build a dwelling and a trading post. So trading post is 1 worker, 1, 2 workers, 3, 4 workers, 5, 6 workers, 7 worker is the dig, 8 worker is the dwelling that I need to build. So if I take workers, I'm 1 worker short. I also would need 3 coins, 5 coins. I need 15 coins. So I'm also 4 coins short. So I'm actually not quite there. If I take a worker's power action, I'm 2 coin. Yeah, ugh. I probably have to double dig, that is the answer. Although that's not that efficient either. Can I win if I just put the landscape down? Maybe I don't have to build any dwellings. What about that? I would end the game with 4 structures on board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structures on board. Means... Well, okay, so if Alchemists build 2 trading posts and 2 dwellings, they have 4 structures on board. But Alchemists are building Fire 2, trading post, and 1 dwelling. And I'm not even sure they can achieve that. What a mess. I think I can make this. I think I can make this work. I'm gonna claim that this works. I think I kind of have to if I really want to have shots at serious anything. My cults are absolutely awful because my opponents have all played very culty games, which is unfortunate, but... Having been a terrible player yourself, Alchemists are going to build Sanctuary and 2 trading posts. Oh, and the dwelling. Yes, no, good call, Stretch. Duh. Alchemists are gonna try to eke out Sanctuary, Fire 2, trading post, dwelling. That's... Oh, and they're not even connected yet. Alchemists are not even connected yet. I mean, Alchemists can connect anytime on H3, but they haven't actually yet. Or on D6, but they do need to generate resources, and I just took workers that they kind of wanted, but they get a worker town. But yeah, you're right about the Sanctuary. Good call, duh. Oh, and they get another town, actually. Sorry, they can have multiple worker towns this round still. Ugh. Blech. Blech, I say. Okay, well, whatever. So we still have some issues, right? I'm going to get to 105, pass 109, advanced dig twice is... Well, I do get to 121, I win network, hopefully, 139. And I get cults is 143, 145... 149, 151. I think I still get a 151. I mean, I do think witches are above that, right? Witches are pretty clearly above that, actually. Yeah, witches are still annoyingly very above that. I don't want that, but I do think I take 2-for-1s if I'm able to. Which maybe I never get 2-for-1s, but... If only I knew where Alchemist Network was ended. Or I could maybe share network with Alchemist and live with it. So witches are getting 3rd place on network. Is the assumption. Are witches actually going to get 3rd place on network? Witches network actually sucks. They've chosen to play very just culty, and mermaids have managed to dig a lot. I mean, mermaids beating witches on network sounds crazy, but even if it... Let's just assume it doesn't matter. Witches are going to build Stronghold. Gets them to 113, builds a trading post 116, pass 119, 127, towns 132, 141. plus some resources, takes which is already like 145 before post game, and then post game, yeah, I mean, okay, witches have this game won by a lot. Okay, we've gone fire track. We went water 2. Oh god, alchemist took water 2, not fire 2. How did we not take fire 2? Alchemists, you could have won the fire cult. You take fire 2, and you send a priest to fire, and you win the fire cult. Why do you have to take my cult points? Okay, again, whatever. So some games you just lose because opponents do things that aren't right, and you just move on. You don't think you were ever that bad? I mean, whatever. It's fine, but yeah, it's what. I mean, can they make this town? I guess to be fair, can they make this town without 1, 2, 3? They need 7 workers plus the dig workers. They need 10 workers. Okay, I mean, to be fair, they have 10 workers. So maybe they don't need fire 2. Not having water 1 means that building all these trading posts are incredibly sad. But they're going to build trading post, trading post, trading post. And then they're going to build a dwelling. So they're going to have 3 temples and 2 dwellings left on their board. And then they get a town. The town is a worker town, and then they still dream of connecting. Oh, because they don't have 3 shipping. Are they not... Are alchemists not connecting? Are alchemists not... Oh, they do have the pass tile. Good call. But are alchemists not connecting, and they're just going to throw network points to the witches to make witches' lives even better? Because that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Where do I want to throw a trading post? I guess I throw a trading post here, because I still actually wanted to... No, I'd rather have a free leech if I ever get it. Trading post can go... here. Yeah, mermaids can't accept power at the moment. Delightful. There we go. Perfect timing. Okay, well, again, team, I think I have a pretty safe seconds. I at least am upper 140s, I think, even with a little bit of cult messes and whatever's happening here. And, but yeah, this fight for the 2-key town turned out very poor. I guess I should have realized my opponents would send so many priests to the cults, but I didn't realize that was going to happen. I mean, alchemists sending 5 priests to the cults and then playing this culty instead of doing other stuff is unpredictable, though. Like, this alchemist player, again, they're weaker. Like, we knew when we sat down, it was going to be a kind of a wild game. And I probably should have just fought harder for direct points. I played hard into economy, and it wasn't that necessary, right? It looks like network is just totally uncontested this game. Like, this is where it is weird playing weaker players, right? Like, I'm too used to, like, kind of high level play where, like, what matters is fighting for some of all this stuff, whereas this game it was, I don't know what was important, I guess. Fighting cults was important. Not picking and winning one cult, I guess, is part of my mistake here. Like, my opponents all have pressured cults, and so while I have, good overall cult movement, each of my opponents has, like, picked a cult where they just suck, and then they've, like, witches have the, like, dreamy cult position here. They have crap cults, and then they have good cults, whereas I just have lots of mediocre cults, so that's not anywhere near as good based on how scoring works. But witches take a worker town. It's fine. Alchemists are eking this out. Yeah, alchemists are going to eke this town out, but they still are not connected. I think alchemists... This is still dubious, ultimately, for them, so whatever. That's the good news. I also get a free leech from them eventually, so I like that. I like free leech still, I think. I'm going to advance digs, and then hopefully I just don't need to build this dwelling. But I might need to build the dwelling, and I still don't really have the resources for it. Oh, that might be a lie. No, I actually don't know if I have the resources for it, but... Mermaids are double digging.
Okay, so mermaids are kind of contesting network. I like mermaids kind of contesting network at least. Yeah, so witches aren't. Again, witches are too far ahead though, cult wise. So whatever. I got advanced digs. It's one of my few paths to points, and I need points. Bloop. Witches need to advance dig or advance ship, and then what? They just like build a free dwelling. Actually, witches don't have to advance ship. They're just gonna get no network points. So witches get 0 network points, and then they advance dig plus send a priest to Earth. Yeah, it looks like you advance dig, send a priest to Earth. I send a priest to Earth, and then I still need to dig and put my landscape down. That's what this one worker is. So dig and landscape. So then I am annoyingly exactly 1 power at the moment short of putting the dwelling down. But I should get that power in time, hypothetically, in order to still build 1 dwelling to lockdown network. Although, again, can Alchemist even actually... I don't know if I have to build this dwelling. Like, it might not be necessary, but we'll hopefully see. Or I'm going to tie Alchemist at worst, right? If I put landscape down, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 structures. There's no way Alchemist build 2 trading posts and 2 dwellings, right? 2 trading posts are already most of Alchemist resources. Oh wow, and they didn't even do coin conversion. Okay, I mean, Alchemists definitely don't have enough to contest network, but this is where, like, again, this is like such a throw. Alchemists aren't even going to connect this game. They're going to just eke out 3 towns, because, like, they're going to have to convert these into workers to make this town. So they're going to build this trading post, and then they can't possibly advance ship and dig and build this dwelling to connect. So mermaids are getting second on network. Are mermaids ever beating me because of that? No, they aren't. But yeah, alchemist taking water too. Why, bro? Why not just fire too and steal fire cult? Oh. Again, whatever. I think I think I still have second locked up by quite a bit. Mermaids and alchemists played pretty weakly. Witches played. This doesn't look that great, but admittedly, I mean, again, their scoring is incredible. So, like, I can't knock it. Like, witches are gonna just have witches decided to just be point greedy and they got away with it. So, oh, I should get my landscape down, I suppose. Whoops, special landscape. There we go. All right. But yeah, what a wacky do game. But hey, whatever. We played Terra Mystica. We had a good time. But this is what happens when you play. Love Terra Mystica. Hey, yeah, thanks for the chat. Welcome. Terra Mystica's a great game. It's really good. I remember why I wait to play with slightly more reasonable opponents. Though this is like playing I mean, to be fair, this is the same as playing Agricola with low-rated players, though. Like, they're going to do things that are just unpredictable, and it's going to throw the game kind of chaotically. I don't think mermaids were correct to play cults as hard as they were. I definitely don't think alchemists were correct to play cults as hard as they do. Alchemists failing to win network is ludicrous, or at least contest network. Like, witches getting these hexes are kind of wild. Like, mermaids a lot of times are going to start D5 in a lot of matchups. The fact that alchemists don't win the race to B5 is also pretty wild given how late witches were. Now, it does look like witches also maybe could have just dug this town eventually, but kudos to witches, though, yeah, for finding this path, because, yeah, I mean, they're passing at the moment for 11 points, so they're at 139. And then they're winning some cults. Although no network, right? So they're witches. Did I overcount witches? Witches are at 139 at the moment. Plus 2 cult wins is 16. 139 plus 16. I mean, that's okay. It's still 155. I mean, still, yeah, it's still too much. I can't contest that, but I'm not that far behind. But I do think witches had some better breaks than I did. But again, also like on some level, it does look like I just shouldn't take Two Key Town. If I just don't take Two Key Town, I mean, I guess somebody else does again is the problem. Like maybe Two Key Town still is enough stuff that it did me good. It's so hard to know. The fact that witches still have a priest left is a little annoying because, like, realistically, my best two moves are to send priest and then hopefully tie witches on earth. But witches are probably spending this priest just bumping earth one more time. Alchemists are probably taking a priest town here and they're just going to bump earth one more time. So that's actually really sad. Yeah, Alchemist's best bet is probably just a priest town, though. What else? Like, what else can they do? And they still have a stupid cult step. Okay, so bumping earth is actually not very valuable. I have to hope alchemists do bump earth, though. So maybe my best play is actually to be bumping water with my priests. Alchemists are not contesting me on network. Alchemists chose not to contest network at all. Oh, which meant witches wanted to advance ship. Oh, and they did. Wow. Okay, so witches are getting sick. Oh, okay. Well, team, again, we were never winning this game then. We were never winning this game because Alchemist decided network is for chumps, and they let witches get third place on network on 9 structures. I mean, come on. Come on. Like, what are you? Why do you? Why did they hate me, Tim? Oh, they don't hate me. They just don't know better. But yeah, this is one of those games. It's a little frustrating because I think Alchemist chose a path and a game plan that got in my way far more than it got in Witch's way, and Witches are gonna beat me by a decent bit because of it. Okay. Witches have a free priest, though, so Witch's free priest goes to Earth. Alchemists ideally go priest to Earth plus cult step to Earth to tie witches, rather than worrying about tying me for second place on water. They should care about tying for first, so we cult bump here is gotta be the play, and then we probably watch them fight me because they're gonna react to this rather than reacting to that, but who knows? Who knows? We can dream. We can dream. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to get, like, what? I'm going to get second, third on the cults. That's not quite what we were hoping for. It still does mean that Two Key Town had some value, probably. Like, getting second, third is still better than it could have been if somebody else got Two Key Town, but it's really was not the goal. Alchemist getting this high on 3 cults and sending 5 priests to the cults and winning none of them is also, yeah, just totally bad. Oh, wow, okay, witches go for trading post because they had the resources. I missed that. So, okay, witches are way far ahead because they're passing for 12. So they're at 145, and they still have the freebie priest to react. So yeah, 145 plus second on network, 151 plus 2 cult wins. I mean, they're at 167. Pretty ugly. 167 is wild. Alright, Alchemist, you're supposed to cult bump Earth. It's like just mathematically it makes more sense. Or you're gonna advance on the shipping track because you miscounted that you're not connected. Okay. Sure. That's also was a choice that you could make. So the bad news is they're not tying witches. They're not going to tie witches for the earth win. Witches are going to just get a pure earth win, which was what I calculated them at anyhow, so whatever. I now cult bump earth, and whichever, alchemist will... Well, wait, is cult bumping earth correct? Yeah, cult bumping earth is the same as cult bumping water, but earth comes with a resource. Not that the resource probably matters, but... There's really no reason to do anything else. Alright. And then we're passing. Is it not better to advance ship? 4 points. So the reason that it was not better for Alchemist to advance ship is Alchemist had to coin convert in order to do that. They paid 4 points in order to get 4 coins, and then they paid those 4 coins to get 4 points. So they netted 0 points and they lost a priest. So losing a priest is obviously worse than using that priest for actual gain. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, alchemists again, they're just a weak player. But yeah, they've done all sorts of things that are wrong. Advancing ship there is just handing witches even more points. Like alchemists are supposed to have 2 more points, and witches are supposed to have 2 less points because alchemists were supposed to do this. Alchemists were supposed to connect so that witches weren't getting any network points. Alchemists are supposed to have won fire rather than ever taking water 2 and fighting me on these other cults. So I should probably have a second place on water and here. Alchemists are supposed to be first. Mermaids are supposed to be second here. So yeah, basically what I'm saying is that alchemists in the endgame here have shifted the point values something like +8 witches and -2 me because of their wrong decisions. But it's all good. You learned you have to be careful spending points to gain points. You do have to be careful spending points to gain points. Yeah. You didn't actually get any points here as alchemists, and you didn't connect either because 3 shipping was not enough to connect. You didn't actually plan your connection correctly. You're supposed to also be on this hex. To be fair, as alchemists, you should be here, because if you were here, you would have connected, and you would have had an easier town because you would have had to triple dig A9. But again, alchemists did not do these things, and again, that's just whatever. We're playing with a weaker opponent, and this is sometimes how it goes. Witches played a good game. They didn't really make any huge mistakes, so kudos to them, right? Like, they're a 347 rated player that played a strong game. It's unfortunate for me because I would have far preferred to watch them actually, struggle. But looks like you're late. Yeah, you're a bit late, but it's all right. Basically, yeah, this 347 played a nice witches game. This alchemist player, at the very least, I can point to a very clear end game. Like, witches have approximately 10 more points than they should, and I have 2 less points than I should, and mermaids have 4 more points than they should because alchemists just did the wrong things. Alchemists decided to take water 2 rather than take fire 2. If they took fire 2, they win the fire cult. And they would have then not had to they would have had to build this town so high, so they would have actually had time to connect. But instead, alchemists failed to connect. So, mermaids also have extra points, because alchemists are supposed to have second on network here, and they failed to do so. Witches are supposed to have no network points, but they got third. Mermaids have second, but should be third. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Alchemist went bad. Mermaids got closer to me than I would have liked, but again, this endgame scoring was Alchemists really gifted some points. I'm 14 behind Witches, so like, even if Alchemists do the things they're supposed to in the final, I probably still lose by a little. But again, Alchemist giving this up early, Alchemist taking that away from me, like, small sadnesses, like, but these things happen. Ultimately, Witches got very blessed. Alchemists really kind of king-made them a little, but oh well. You think you have to know what you're doing as Alchemist, or you can do this? I mean, Alchemists are a very tricky faction to play well, so, like, again, no... the weak player at the table got them, and then this happened. Like, so be it. I also might have slightly overpaid for Nomads, because Nomads were going to struggle to score a bit in this setup, and that happened. But, I mean, again, one of the other big problems here was the fact that Mermaids decided to play totally over here instead of fighting the Witches at all. So, again, like, Witches also just, from the very get-go, Witches looked a lot better than I think they could have. I mean, Witches started C3 and F4, and if Mermaids just decided to start D5 and take C4 first action, I mean, Witches would have had such a rough game. Like, Witches played pretty well given the position they got handed, but they really risked a lot out of the, like, this could have been so much worse for Witches, and I think it's just very hard for it to be I think it's hard for it to be much worse than it was for me. Not that it was bad for me by any means, right? It wasn't particularly bad for me, but it's hard for it to go like much worse than this. This setup was just very good for me, so meh. You think Alchemist is the faction new players struggle with the most? Yeah, totally agreed. They're very tricky, so like it's fine. But it is unfortunate. Like I took an early 2-key town, and yeah, like the cult fight turned much harder than I was wishing it, and I didn't prioritize any single cult appropriately, so that's bad. But C3 is an interesting gamble for witches. Would I just kill them if I'm mermaids by starting D5, or would I also try double west? I would not have gone double west here at all. No. I mean, the one mermaid. I mean, to be fair, out of the auction, I was terrified of mermaids, because like as mermaids, I think you have to start here and just hope that you get C1. But Alchemist could have started C1 in some scenarios, and that's scary. You could maybe start H4 as mermaids in this game and try to do the town through here. I don't love that. I think I would have started D5 as mermaids. Like that there's gonna be action around D5. You're gonna get decent leech. But it can obviously suck too. I mean, mermaid starting spots are very tricky here. But once witches start C3. Once witches start C3, I think I do respond with D5, and then I still move before witches, so I always get C4 before witches. The pass tiles in this game, I either get temp ship and double dig, or I start on the spade tile. So, like, I think it was very safe to just start D5 and take C4. Ultimately, you agree with D5? You did this to yourself? Yeah, exactly. Like, to be fair, witches are not supposed to start C3. Like, they're supposed to start C4. Like, if witches start C4, I don't know if I go to D5 as mermaids, because then I kind of have to take C3 first action, and it's still fine, but I might be tempted to do an H4 game from there. But if I'm mermaids and I can start D5 and I know I get C4, and I later then get A11, and I get this stuff through here, I mean, I have to then ship around, I guess, so the connection gets harder if C3 is already taken. I don't know. There's a lot of problems, but I think I would have started D5 this game. As is, mermaids played very friendly with witches, so that was sad. Alchemist played friendly with witches. In some games, Alchemist would take B5, and Alchemist would have dug through the center before witches got there, because witches starting double center is very risky. Because, yeah, Alchemist could have easily been triple shipping to B5 early enough, and Alchemist could have been digging G6 before witches got there, because witches started here without a stronghold. And if Alchemist just cuts off these other easy town locations, I don't know where witches get a third town. Starting B5 is often correct with no gray in the game and green in. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good point too, Drange. You're right. Alchemist literally could have started B5 and then just shipped down here later. They started here, and I mean they just had no neighbors for like pretty much the whole game. This starting location didn't do that much. So you're also that's also a good point. Alchemist could have just started here and here. So anyhow, yeah, like I think Witch has got quite a few breaks this game. The pass tiles also, by the way, went very well for Witches. As I said, my opponents decided that we were going to fight hard on the cults, but we weren't going to fight hard for pass tile points. So Witches got 18 on the pass points. My opponents got 8. I only got 8. Like, that's also a little bit gross with only 2 pass tiles. Witches got on them for 3 rounds, and were able to use them. That is one small downside of my game plan. I could never fight for the big building tile particularly well, because I didn't have it, but my opponents decided to fight cults hard, the classic Me Too Keytown dilemma. Yeah, it really kind of is, right? Like, my read early in this game is like, oh, we don't really have a cult faction. The 2-key town should be strong. I'm going to build a lot of temples. I'll send priests late to the cults. It'll be fine. It's alchemists. They need to spend their priests to ship and dig aggressively early. No. Alchemists decided to send lots of priests early to cults. They didn't hit 3 shipping until the end when it made no sense. They didn't advance digs till like round 5. Other factions also decided to take priest power actions, and like witches also, right? Witches did not advance ship this game until crazy late. because they didn't need to. They got temp ship in round 1, and they just built these hexes in round 1, and then they literally never needed shipping except to connect in order to get network points they weren't supposed to get. I mean, witches were actually going to go with a 0 shipping game plan, which is also not what I would have expected. Like, when you have opponents in the game that should be fighting for hexes you care about and hurting your future town spots, you're going to need to ship. But no, witches didn't need to ship. They got, like, again, yeah, it was not what I expected. To be fair, I don't think it's what should happen if we play this game again with, like, experts. Witches being able to have a good enough economy and to get every favor tile, that's, I mean, again, though, as we talked about too, like, it turns out I'm supposed to not take Fire 1. If I just do what Mike said, and I take Water 1 in round 1, and then I get Water 1 for all those trading posts in round 3, that also probably goes a bit better for me. But again, this game's so distorted in a lot of ways, so whatever. Alchemist scores poo. Correct. I mean, again, Alchemist totally did not play this game in a reasonable fashion. Like, this cult fight for Alchemist is garbage. Alchemists invested 5 priests into the cults. They took a water 2, and they have 10 cult points to show for it. I mean, this is a total waste of time for Alchemists. This is garbage. Alchemist just not connecting is insane here. Alchemist left 12 points on the table because they didn't connect. Alchemist at the very end at least were supposed to take Fire 2 and send Priest to Fire before Mermaids could close Fire out. That would, like, again, if this was just Fire, like, honestly, if Alchemist just took Fire 2, Priest to Fire, made this town, and then built and connected, their score is still bad, but they would have had like 16 more points, and then they deny 6 points to each of their opponents, and they deny a couple more cult points to their opponents, so, like, they're nearly 16 to 20 points better, and their opponents are 6 points worse. Not me. But, like, Alchemists are probably supposed to be, yeah, like, upper 120s, and then Mermaids would be lower 130s if Alchemists just did what they were supposed to. But now it looks like they lost by 31, and they played horribly, which is partly true, but it's actually just a lot of endgame mistakes. If Alchemists just, again, yeah, deny the water win to Mermaids. Mermaids are -4. Mermaids are -6 if they suddenly don't get network. Boom. We have a 131 Mermaids. Alchemist gets second on network. We're at 122. We win this cult instead of taking second. We're at 126. Suddenly 126 to 131 doesn't look that bad. I mean, it's still bad compared to the other top scores, but again, that's just what hurt here. Alchemists are not supposed to, yeah, I mean, Alchemists aren't supposed to be ahead of me on these cults. Alchemists are supposed to be beating Mermaids. I'm supposed to at least have got second, third on the cults, so I get 2 more cult points. I'm at 153. That means witches fall to 159 to 153. Still not quite where I want to be, but whatever. Basically, it's a lot of post-game to say weak players threw random things to the game, and the kind of mediocre player played a pretty strong game ultimately too. Like, but got handed a lot. Got handed things they shouldn't have been in terms of hexes, and they got handed things they shouldn't have been in terms of network, and that's how it goes. Sorry you missed the game. Oh, it's fine. I started very early. It's totally understandable you missed. Thanks so much for the subscription, though. 8 months, that's crazy. I'm hoping to do a bit more streaming. Maybe we get another Terra Mystica tomorrow. Maybe I wait a little bit and try to actually get some good opponents, though, instead of this. Because, yeah, that was a bit nutty. But, hey, whatever. We played a Terra Mystica. We had some fun. My elo is trash, though. 542. Not that 542 is trash. Let's be clear. 542 is still very good. It's just a historical lull for me. That's what we should say, right? My rank evolution over time, I haven't played much Terra Mystica for the last half year, as we can see, but 542 is not historically where I hover. I hover, well, for a while I was playing a lot and doing very well, but I hover, right around the kind of low 600s area. Yeah. But this happens. It's all good. You think your TM elo is like 160? Yeah, you celebrated your 600 elo by blowing 30 in a single game. Felt very Wolf of Wall Street-ish. Nice. Yeah, I mean, look, this is what happens, right? It's just like everybody goes through lulls, everybody does whatever. I've partly have not been playing a lot, so I've also, to be fair, I've not been playing exactly top level anyhow either. This game, right, I made a small mistake, and I should have taken that center brown in round 1, so that was bad. I probably could have found a way to do the cults a little better this game. Mike was correct that I probably should have just gone water 1, to be fair, instead of fire 1. There's maybe a way that I can play the pastiles a little bit more aggressively, although it's not clear that's true, but maybe. So, whatever. Which, I will give Witches a lot of credit. I'll give Witches a lot of credit that they did play the pastiles well. That in round 4, I was obviously debating passing fairly fast back onto the trading post tile. And one of the better moves the Witches made was definitely passing back onto the trading post tile. My game plan definitely was a little too economy focused. I mean, I still scored 151 by the end, right? So it's not too bad given the track of the position. But my game was always a little bit, we're going to go high economy and try to find the points. And I didn't quite find the points. And Witches said, I'm just going to go crazy point greedy and assume I don't get punished. And yeah, they got gifted. But, in that type of game, it worked for them, so things did work. Anyhow, I will play a Yahtzee quick, and then I gotta actually go shower and walk my dog, and then I'm gonna go play games with friends and all that. But, or I could play Can't Stop. I thought I was parking in Can't Stop, because I wanted to be top 10, but Can't Stop is a wild land where I'm now 11th. Do I hope that everybody just falls in front of me? Can't Stop is so scary. Oh, wow, Loki a treat. I think I skipped a Loki treat earlier this stream, by the way. I'm very sorry whoever redeemed that and that I never followed up. Sometimes you gotta yell at me because I get distracted by, actual gaming. Anyhow, I'm trying to get my 3rd Can't Stop top 10 in Arena season. And the important thing in Can't Stop is to know when to actually stop playing Arena Can't Stop. And I thought it was now because I was like 7th yesterday. But settle for anything but first, shaking your head, wrong mindset. First, Can't Stop is a giant lottery for the most part. Let's be real. There are 6,000 players. And getting to the top basically involves just having a crazy lucky run. I'm already on a crazy lucky run, let's be honest. I've had, my last couple games have been very scary. Like, I'm up to 28th in ELO for Can't Stop. Like, this is not a sustainable thing. Like, you can see, I play a lot of Can't Stop. I've peaked about as high as this in the past. But this is about as, like, you like, realistically, you hover in the upper 200s, lower 300s for ELO in this game. That's just how it is. It's hard to maintain anything outside of, like, about 300. So I'm currently on a very lucky streak. I'm going to come back to Earth. I know it. Like, I'm going to have just terrible luck or whatever. Like, I've had crazy good fortune in some of my games to get to where I am. So I personally am going to just squat for a little bit longer, and I'm not going to play for first. But anyhow, you're not sure there's a game that tilts you more than Can't Stop? That's fair. I love Can't Stop. It's fine. But yeah, I mean, like, as soon as you care a little too much about results, let's be real. Like, Can't Stop definitely will tilt you because, yeah, like, any individual game can go absolutely wacky. To be fair, I stopped playing Space Base eventually because Space Base tilted me too much once I started caring about it. And I find Space Base is a little bit too long and overstays its welcome. I hate rolling for ones, but when you get handed this early, I gotta hope for a Yahtzee. More realistically, I'm hoping for a full house. But wow, I'm actually, yeah. Turn 1, 3 threes is, or 3 ones is very not the dream. I maybe should have rolled something else. That was not good, but Space was the other tilter. Yeah, it's fair. Space always ends the moment your engine comes online. Yeah, that's fair too. Engine building in Space is kind of lame. You kind of have to just green points. I agree. It's not that exciting. Not a good start for us. Closing out 1s and 2s early is not really the dream. Not really what you want to focus on rolling early here, but anyhow, yeah, Space tilted me a lot more, and I don't know why. Ooh, 4 6s, yes please. Okay, 4 6s up top goes a long way to making sure that we get this bonus easily, and I think 80% of being a good Yahtzee player is simply understanding that you pursue the bonus. And then outside of that, there's a small little bit of edges, but it's pretty much luck. For what it's worth, I think Can't Stop is about twice as skillful as Yahtzee. And Can't Stop's also, to be clear, incredibly lucky. So I do love when my opponent closes out their small straight though without getting it before their large straight. I think that makes things awkward for them. I have a small straight here, but I kind of hate rolling for the large straight when it's not open-ended. But as much as I say I hate that, I don't see anything better to do because I've already closed out a lot of the backup options, and we get lucky. Congrats. That's the other way that you're good at Yahtzee. You think Can't Stop is way more skill than Yahtzee, more than 2 times? It's reasonable. It's very reasonable. We need to roll 5s still, sure. Give me some 5s. That's not 5s. I think I'm going to roll these 2 dice and go for the small straight. Hitting the small straight here is pretty high odds. But we don't hit the small straight, so we'll take a 20-point chance. All right, we do still need to get some 3s and 5s. We absolutely got to get our bonus up top. Probably going to roll for the 3s here. I'm going to settle for 2 3s. 2 3s, I need 3 5s then to close out the top. I mean, I could get 3 5s eventually, but I have to prioritize getting these 3 5s because the 3 5s come with the 35 bonus points. So 3 5s is as good as getting a Yahtzee. But obviously 3 5s is way more likely than a Yahtzee. So we're just prioritizing getting those 5s. Come on, 5s. There they are. All right. Now we do whatever. My opponent's having good fortune as well. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my life in Yahtzee lately, to be honest. My Yahtzee ELO is not very good. And not that it necessarily should be. We have a small straight already. I'll just take it. But my general experience in Yahtzee lately is that, yeah, my opponent's average like a freaking like 270 or something. Like, I don't know the last time I've had an opponent score under a 200, which should happen sometimes. Like, opponents should fail, but okay, I got handed 3 5s here. We roll this, we're either going to get full house or 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind or the Yahtzee, but no, we just get a worse 3 of a kind than we started with. But that happens. Yeah, wow, and my opponent had a 27-point chance. That's gross. And they just hit the large straight. I mean, I pretty much have lost this game, actually, which is pretty dumb because I'm having a fine round. Like, I've not done anything particularly wrong. But yeah, my opponent hasn't had to blank anything. They're probably going to blank a Yahtzee. I mean, I could hope that my opponent somehow can't roll 3 4s, but that's all they need. They need to get 3 4s and they get the bonus. I can roll here for the full house, I guess, is what I do. Okay, I do hit the full house at least. That's fortunate. But I pretty much need to get a Yahtzee to beat my opponent, it looks like. It looks like I need Yahtzee and they, like... Or I need to hope they just can't roll 3 4s. Hoping they can't roll 3 4s is a thing. But come on, Yahtzee! Yahtzee! That's not a Yahtzee. Okay, if my opponent rolls 3 4s... They get 47 points. I cannot win. I cannot win with 4 of a kind. I will have to get a Yahtzee. So we close out the 4 of a kind. Will my opponent roll for the Yahtzee or will my opponent roll for the 4s? I actually don't know what the right move is for them. Oh, also, we don't need to watch Loki anymore, I suppose. No Yahtzee. No Yahtzee. Okay, good. No Yahtzee. And they only have one chance at the fours now. I'm feeling decent about my chance to win this game now. 3 fours definitely could happen, but it's kind of like a 50-50 toss-up. I'm going to roll all the fours myself. Come on, random Yahtzee. No. All right. We have to hope my opponent does what I do. Don't roll fours. Okay, they already have 2 fours. That's a bad sign. Okay, come on, 50-50, basically. Oh, yeah, we get lucky. There we go. We get lucky. This is why you prioritize your bonus earlier. To be honest, my opponent probably was wrong to roll for the Yahtzee the round prior. It was exciting because they got handed 4 of a kind, but they just needed 3 fours to win that game. But, oh well. Anyhow, 3 fours in demand is worse than just generally needing 3 fours throughout the game. Yeah, 100% wrong. They should have gone for the Yahtzee, you think? Because they have 2 chances at Yahtzee, and that's better than their chances of getting the 3 fours off of completely rolling. That could be true. The Yahtzee was irrelevant. Oh, okay. Oh, you're saying they were 100% wrong. You're saying the Yahtzee was irrelevant. Okay. I mean, there's a chance I get the Yahtzee and that they needed the Yahtzee and the 3 fours, but yeah, it's hard to run the probabilities, right? 3 fours wins the game most of the time. I mean, yeah, my chance of getting a Yahtzee on any individual turn is like, I can't remember. I'd have to look at it again. It's like 3 or 4%. So only 3 or 4% of the time will they need the Yahtzee. But it is a little funky because the problem is their opening roll gives them 2 chances to roll a Yahtzee. Each chance is a 1 in 6 chance. So like they have a 11 in 36 chance of getting a Yahtzee on that turn. If they purely roll all 5 dice and then re-roll, what are the chances of getting 3 fours? Like, it might be that the chance is worse than 1 in 3, in which case, like, the Yahtzee is equivalent points to the 3 fours. So is it actually easier to roll 3 fours on 2 rolls than it is to roll a Yahtzee off of their position? I actually don't know the answer. Yeah, but that's what's interesting, right, Gonzo? Like, if you have 2 separate rolls in order to get 3 fours, are your odds of getting 3 fours actually higher than the Yahtzee? I don't know the answer. I'm guessing it's actually kind of close. But I mean, to be clear, we could probably do a Google search because somebody's done this math for us. Yahtzee odds of getting 3 of a kind. All right. Do. Oh, the probability of getting a Yahtzee on any turn is a little higher than I thought. So apparently it's 4.6. I'm not sure this is giving me the answer I want. Oh, wait. So this is generic 3 of a kind, though, probably not an individual 3 of a kind. I might dig into this later, but you're thinking it's like a 30% Yahtzee versus about a 50% for the 3 fours? It could be. I just generally don't know, and my instincts are not great here, which, to be fair, I mean, my instincts and probability questions are to generally don't trust your instincts. People are generally not good at actually instinctively knowing probabilities. Yeah, see, everybody just does the math and figured out the Yahtzee. I don't care about the Yahtzee. I also think some of these sites are not very good. All right, I'll have to dig into it more. I'm sure somebody's already done the math, but I'm not doing the right search yet. But both win the game, so take the 50-50. I mean, we both agree that the 3-4s and the Yahtzee are essentially the same points, right? The 3-4s is 12 plus the bonus 35. It's 47 versus 50. So the points are essentially equivalent. I agree. But after your first roll has 0 4s and you need 3 4s, is it better to, roll for the Yahtzee, or is it better to roll for the 4s? The other thing that makes this analysis even messier, and actually the easier question to answer, is they chose to roll for the Yahtzee. They got a 4 instead of the 2 they needed. Now that they have a single 4, it is easier to answer should they have switched for their third roll. Their third roll has a 1 in 6 chance of hitting a Yahtzee if they go for it, or they roll 4 dice, and they need 2 4s. So were they wrong to not switch at that point? Also is an interesting question. If you're rolling 4 dice and you need 2 successes, is that a better than 1 in 6 chance? I don't know. Some fascinating probability questions for me to think about later today, but I definitely need to get moving now because I'm being slow and I have things to go do. So thanks all for hanging out. Thanks for the chats. I might think about these probability questions and drop them in Discord if anybody else is interested or if anybody else figures them out. But I think both of those are fun questions to ask. But anyhow. You think sticking with Yahtzee makes sense after the first roll, but you think they should have switched originally. That part's potentially true. I agree. Like the chance of getting 2 4s on 4 dice is probably worse than 1 in 6. So they probably were correct to stick with it on the second roll, even though they saw a 4. But you might be right that they probably were supposed to switch and not go for the Yahtzee. But I don't know. It's definitely very interesting. So. And that's what I mean. I don't know. I can't mentally. The exact math is not coming to me, and like they're close enough that I suspect you're in. I suspect you're correct for what it's worth, but I also suspect it's close enough that it's not actually like. It's possible that our instincts are wrong on this, right? That's what's messy with probability. Like I don't know for sure, so I do kind of want to figure it out now, but. It is fascinating combinatorics. Yeah, totally agreed. Like they're interesting questions because they might have non-intuitive answers, and that's part of what's exciting about statistics and probability sometimes. So, I probably will try to figure it out because now I want to know. But I do need to go do other things. So yeah, thanks all for hanging out. Thanks much for the sub. It's been fun. I will likely stream some tomorrow, maybe later today even. I have a pretty chill weekend, so we'll see. But